Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Jason, and today we're going to be taking a glance at 99 Spirits, which is an indie game put up by Fruit Bat Factory, and as you can see at the bottom, Toraki... yeah. Anyways, to summarize the game, before we go ahead and get started, it is essentially a puzzle RPG visual novel QuickTime event game. That got you confused enough? Yeah, well basically, I'm gonna go ahead and load a previous save because starting right from the very beginning, there's a lot of visual novel stuff. Basically, you're sitting there reading for a long, long time. So I figured, let's just jump into the actual gameplay because, you'll see a little bit of, we'll say, how the visual novel is represented as well as the mechanics themselves. So let's go ahead and just load this. So basically, to describe the screen, you have let's say basically a hunger bar. So you actually gain hunger as you travel around. This is your map. You can move around, on the squares, or let's say on the grid, to various points. Right now we're in town. We can go and sharpen our sword, restore HP. We can buy or sell items, or we can, sate our hunger. I've already gone ahead and done that for the most part. This is basically how all navigation is done. You move around on a grid to different parts, and the background sort of changes up. It's a very simplistic game. There's not a whole lot to it, we'll say, graphically. But you know what? I kind of want to be fair, because I like all sorts of games, and if you like sort of puzzle games, the games that make you think, this might be a game there for you. So basically, at this point here, our protagonist has basically fallen asleep, so let's just go ahead and get her moving. And I'll explain, we'll say, a little bit more about the game as we go along. At the very top, it says objectives. We need to talk to people and enter the Tamagami Shrine. Now, this is very anime influenced. There's a lot of very strong anime stuff, and, it's a sort of, we'll say, Japanese-themed game. So, if we move up to that little blue triangle here, the little arrow, it'll bring us to our navigation screen, and we can choose where we want to visit. Well, apparently we want to go to the Tamagami Shrine. So let's go ahead and click on that. And that brings us here. And basically we get a little bit of a dialogue from, we'll say, our partner. And it's telling us that there's a lot of Tsukumogami around. Now, basically, I'm not going to be saying that every single time. But basically, they are the main enemy in this game. And they are represented by these little clouds on your screen. So we're on our way to the shrine, but we have to travel through multiple of these maps to get there. These blue sort of icons are items. So let's go over and click on that. And it says we found a gemstone. Those can be sold for like 100 piece or whatever that currency is. And those can be used to buy more items to help you through the game. So let's go ahead and actually get into a fight with one of these cloud things. So I can start explaining, we'll say, the core of the game and what really it's all about. Like I said, I did jump ahead a little bit. So when you get into combat, this is basically what you're greeted to. It's a static image with a cloud. Now you can use mouse control to move around, or as you can see, there are letters indicating, we'll say, hotkeys. So you can rest your hands down on your keyboard, and you can have some fun with that. Now, down at the very bottom, you have a sword. Now, currently I've only got 2 gems, but as you can see, there are 3 others, and those will likely all be used, we'll say, for, the puzzles in the game. Right now, we're just going to deal with the basic enemies. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to go too far into the game, because I like to, I try to be as spoilers-free as possible. Anyways, so basically, if we attack, we are going to charge up the first gem on our sword, the one up near the tip. And, we can't actually hurt this being yet. While it's in its gaseous form or its ethereal form, we cannot hurt this thing. So what we do is, since we have this magical sword, we use our attack. And we are going to go ahead and swing at it, and she hits it, and you notice it charges up our sword. Now, we took a hit, because while you're attacking, every once in a while, it will do an attack on you, and you have to counter it. And this is where we'll say the, QuickTime event type thing happens. You want to quickly be able to hit the defend button to counter, and then you can counter attack. I actually let myself be deliberately hit so I can explain that. So, as we can see, the gem is not fully charged, so let's go ahead and try some attacks again.
You're too weak.
And there we go. So we basically defended against its attack, and then we countered. And as we can see, the C, let's see, the C gem is now charged, and we can go ahead and use its special ability. And what that does is hitting it with the special ability, it brought up the word where in lowercase. Now what that means is you're basically trying to guess what this thing is, this spirit. So lowercase gives you clues or descriptive text, like adjectives and stuff. So something that I wear. I still need more hints, so we basically continue on with the attacking. Now, as we attack, you'll notice the WR bar increases, and that's basically the wear on our sword. You need to use whetstone to keep the blade sharp, or else it's going to be completely ineffective. So you do have to do some balancing there as well. So let's go ahead and get another descriptive thing. Now we got a capital letter T, and basically what that means is that the letter T is in the word. So we know it's something that we wear that has the letter T. All right, well, I still need some more hints. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Now this is kind of where we'll say the bit of the challenge comes in. If you keep hitting it, you keep wearing down your sword.
You're too weak.
But if you need more hints, you got to keep hitting it. So you're actually rewarded. It's easier on you if you go ahead and you solve the puzzle as quickly as possible. So let's hit C again, and it has an H in it as well. I'm still kind of lost. It's just all I know is it's something that I have to wear, and something that has a T and an H in it, and it could be in any order. Now, if I decided to defend, it would actually charge up my second gem, which is the gem that you actually need to use to put the thing into physical form. But you need to know what it is before you can use that second gem. So we're not going to bother defending yet. We'll probably charge that up as we counter its attack. So let's go ahead and attack again. And there we go. As I just said, we got the second gem charged up. So let's go ahead and get another descriptor about it. It's got an A in it. So it's got an H, an A, and a T, and it's something we wear. I suspect it may be a hat. So we're going to use the second gem. We're going to hit V, and we are granted with this screen. Now you can go ahead and use your mouse to type in the word. You can actually hit direct input and just type it in with your keyboard, or you can purchase items in the store, in the game, called a Spirit Index. And this will give you a list of different items that you may have run across, or you may have, used that it could be. Now I know a hatchet. You don't wear that, so it's probably not a hatchet. And I obviously I don't have all the indexes. The more you buy, it increases, we'll say, the vocabulary of things you can just go ahead and click on, which is good, if it's something you've encountered before and you can guess really quick. But right now, I'm guessing it's a hat. So let's go ahead and type in hat. And the shroud is lifted, and now we are fighting a demonic hat. That's right. Basically, every enemy in the game is some demonic household item. And at this point, we basically just keep hitting attack. And it's just, that's it. You take down its health, sometimes they will heal, and there are more complex enemies, like some of them will, the hints will say be a little bit more vague. But yeah, it's like I said, it's like an RPG puzzle game with visual novel elements to it. But like I said, it's very much so a puzzle game. And that is basically the core of the game. There's actually not a whole lot more I could add to that. We'll go ahead and do one more here to just really show things off.
Ready? Here I come.
Just because like I said, I just want to show everything off. I want to make it very clear. This is basically the game. So we'll go ahead and hit C, and it's something that opens, or something that is open. So I'll write that down. Open. All right, so let's go ahead and get some more descriptive text here. What could this thing possibly be? Oh, actually, you know what? I remember what this thing is. It's going to hit C, and it says LS. Now, this actually reminds me. This is a perfect example. Why? This is actually a good. This actually reminds me of something I wanted to mention. I know that this thing here is sandals. the thing has to be spelled exactly. I originally wrote Sandal, and it actually said I gave the incorrect answer, and then it counterattacked me, and it brought down my health, and it was miserable. So I'm just going to go ahead and defend for the time being to raise my second gem up because I know what this one is.
Too soft.
But yes, you need to make sure that you spell things exactly the way they want it.
Slow. All right.
So if it's a plural word, you need to say it's a plural word. Now, I kind of wish they would have maybe made their thinking, we'll say the parser, a little bit more smart, because that would have probably helped things out. So let's go ahead and hit Sandals, because it's an open thing that has the letters LS in it. And like I said, the only reason I know that is because I've seen this scene before. So now we kill the demonic sandals. And now, sometimes there's only so many hints that it'll give you. So sometimes you might have to just retreat. You'll have to run from the thing, or the thing will run from you. And hooray, I leveled up, and I earned some money. And you do get a bonus if you get the first answer correct. Taking no damage. If you hit every single counter, you get bonuses as well. So you are not only rewarded for your ability to... random encounter there. Some guy wanted to trade with me. And that's basically it. That is the entirety of the game. Now, there are, like I said, there's other gems here that are not active at the time, but I feel like a large portion of the game, like I played into, my second hour or so right now. Obviously, I've been taking my time to sort of learn the game, but, it's been mostly focusing around those two gems on the tip of the sword. So, and I don't want to give any spoilers in case this is the kind of game that interests you. Yeah. And then you basically move from that area to the next area. And someone goes ahead and asks, do you want to trade this? Sure. This is random encounters. It's all, like I said, very visual novel style. The presentation is actually pretty good. For what it is. Now, you can switch it, I have it on English, but you can go ahead and switch the audio to Japanese if you want for that super authentic, I don't know, anime style thing to it, but that is basically 99 Spirits in a nutshell. It's a sort of a word puzzle game where you kind of have to guess what things are. It's mostly all household items, but there are other different things like katanas and machetes and stuff like that not everybody has in their house. And that you basically kill demonic versions. So if you like killing demonic versions of your common household items, this game is definitely for you. And yeah, there's nothing really else to say about it. So until next time, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and maybe check out 99 Spirits if this interests you. Otherwise, well, then don't. And until next time, game on.